What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. Hello, hello. What's going on? Today, we're going to be talking about workouts because it's Wednesday and we've been doing this little trend lately where we do workout stuff on Wednesday. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. And we kind of want to give value because we see people go to the gym all the time and they're like, what am I supposed to be doing? That exercise, that machine's free. I'll just do that. Or, well, like they're not very, what's the word?
Structured.
That's the word. Yes, they're not very structured. And when people are just starting out, they're kind of a bit like, our clients obviously get everything programmed for them, just like Rosie here gets everything programmed for them. They get the app, they get all the videos for every exercise, so they know how to do each exercise, so they don't feel silly. When you go to the gym, you're like, am I doing this right? I think you look stupid. So our clients don't do that because they got the video and they know, they bloody know. And then some of them also send us videos of themselves working out, and then we give them feedback, so they know exactly that they're doing things right. So, hey, Rosie, and someone is just finishing up work. I'm not sure who you are, but you shouldn't be watching us during work. We don't want to get you in trouble. Hey, Rachel. So, I think one of the most frustrating things that people say, that they explain to us that is frustrating them, is I'm going to the gym. I've been going for 3 to 6 months or even longer. I'm really putting the effort in. I'm eating well. I'm doing all my workouts. I'm going to the gym 5 times a week. I was doing classes. I know I need to move over, but I'm just not seeing any results. I'm not seeing any changes. And I'm getting frustrated. And I think, what's the fucking point? What is the point in me training and putting all this effort in if I'm not getting any results? I hear that a lot.
It's the most common one.
Definitely. Hey, Holly. And also, talking of Holly and Rachel, actually, it doesn't mean only going to the gym either. Lots of our clients work out from home, some of those there. And so, it's how to structure a home program as well, like how to make sure that you are getting results. I think getting results is harder at home, personally. So you really need a really effective program if you're going to be training anywhere, but definitely at home as well. Hey, Susan. So let's get at it. Let's just freaking do it, is it?
Let's do it.
So when you are creating your program, what is the first thing that people need to think about?
So we've got three key frames or frameworks to go by, and then there's a fourth one which is considerations or focuses on how we're sort of broken down how to have your own workout checklist.
So what's the first thing they need to think about? Okay. All right. Just babbling.
So the first one is, how many days do you go to the gym? How many days are you actually going to work out? Because that then dictates exactly what you're going to be doing. If you don't work out that, if you just miss the first step and skip, I love doing squats and I love doing hip thrusts.
Well, I'm really bad at bench press, so I don't do that.
I'll never do it. Yeah. You miss a lot of opportunity. You create a lot of imbalances, which you only have to come back and sort out later.
So what is an imbalance?
You tell me.
It's when one side of your body is bigger than the other, or your upper body is bigger or stronger than the lower, or vice versa.
So chicken legs and men.
Yeah.
Big chest and little legs.
Yeah. Definitely. And which, that's an aesthetic kind of problem, isn't it? I mean, girls, we know that is a problem for men.
And ladies, big legs, big bum, and small guns.
Yeah, no, we want strong guns, strong buns and strong guns for our girls, definitely. And the thing is, side note here, talking about aesthetics, if you're a woman and you would love a hourglass shape, you have to do upper body, okay? Because you might lose a couple of inches on your waist, which is fine, but really, we want to be building out our back. So we've got this, it's called a V taper. So you've got the V taper, your shoulders and your back, your waist comes in, and then it comes back out for your glutes and your legs. Okay, so you've got nice toned legs, toned bum, nice strong shoulders and strong back, small waist. I've said this a couple of times. When I used to work in a bridal shop, used to like help girls get into their dresses and, you know, make sure they're done up properly and all that kind of stuff, and try on lots of different styles. And one of the things that people used to say to me is, oh, I just wish my waist was smaller. And so what I would do then, because like some women are straight up and down, right? They're like, they haven't got a waist, that's what they'd say, or they got a bit of a belly, they haven't got this like hourglass figure. And they'd want these, you know, like capped sleeves, or they'd want like long sleeves because they're embarrassed of their arms or whatever. But when people would say to me, oh, I just wish I had a smaller waist for my wedding dress, I would go and get a dress that is strapless, because then your shoulders look wider and then it makes your waist look smaller. So, and then I'd go for like an A-line or something, right? So you've got this illusion. So that's like a really, if you get married, that's a good tip. But generally, if we can build out our shoulders and our back, then that is going to make our waist look smaller. If you're doing sit-ups, you probably, and oblique stuff like side crunches or Russian twists, you're actually making your waist bigger generally. Okay, so that's not the best way to go. So
that was a long
tangent. Yeah, but we're talking about imbalances, aren't we? So you want to be balanced silhouette. The other kind of thing with imbalances is if you're always doing chest, like men, they always do chest.
Men are so.
How much do you bench, bro? How much do you bench, bro? Don't give a shit. No girl in that place gives a flying fuck how much you can bench.
How many shopping bags can you carry, bro?
Exactly, that's more like it. But because they bench all the time, a lot of the time they'll get injuries, especially with shoulder, because of the way they're doing it, but also because their back, they're neglecting their back. So they're basically like crunching over like this. And so they're getting a weaker back. So imbalances can cause weaknesses as well. So we need to make sure that we're balanced because of that.
And that's usually why posture becomes a big thing. We're already like this a lot of the time looking on our phones, and then we're already like on computers watching TVs, always slouched. And then if you add that on top where you're always working the front side of your body, so your chest is getting bigger but it's getting tighter, so it's pulling you in, so you're more likely to stick in that position rather than to pull your shoulder blades back. And you see like a funny evolution chart of like the bones, and then they're predicting like however many in front that humans will start to be like this. Just
chin to the side.
We're so constantly like this.
Chin to the side to be with you. Oh my god, Cam, that's gross. Stop it. That's disgusting.
It's natural.
Well, it's apparently so. But anyway, so that's why imbalances can cause problems. And so but the thing is, people will generally go and do things that they like, and they won't do things they suck at. So girls are always like, I do leg day 4 times a week. I'm like, how many times do you do upper? They're like, I don't do upper body because I'm weak. Or are you weak because you don't do upper body, right?
Amen.
So if you suck at something, whether that is mobility, whether that is like lower body, whether that's upper body, whether that's push, pull, wherever it's going to be, do more of it. Like, make sure you're doing it. So how can we choose our days so we've got a balanced physique?
So you have 1 to 2 days. Let's break it down.
Okay, I can only do 1 to 2 days.
Okay, can you do this for the rest of your life?
Yes.
Okay, good answer. So you want to be doing full body once to twice a week, because you want to be working everything. Because if you just did upper or upper lower, technically, although you are doing an upper and lower, you're only doing it once a week. So you wouldn't be getting the best results. So you still get some. You definitely be increasing from nothing to something. But generally, if you're doing 1 to 2, we would say full body. 3 days.
I could do 3.
Oh no, you can do it actually wrong, can you?
Yeah. The kids come back to school, so.
Oh, that's good. So you can probably do upper, lower, full body, or you could do full body all 3. That still works. So again, you're starting to work at least the major muscle groups at least twice a week. And we know if we're doing progressive overload, this is going to get you, reasonably good results. You can easily work out 3 times a week and get good results. Like anything, if you're doing it consistently.
Yeah. So like Monday, you would do upper, perhaps. Wednesday, you could do lower. And then Friday, maybe do full body. So I'm going to interject and ask a question here, because one of my clients asked me this the other day. I'm going to do 3 days a week. Can I do push-pull legs? Well, Is it beneficial, or what, is it good enough?
You can, but you'd have to add in more leg exercises somewhere else. So I would probably say if you did do that, you'd do like pull, and maybe you'd add in a hamstring exercises on that day, like a deadlift or an RDL, because it's still a pulling motion.
Yeah.
But it'd start evening it out, so you could focus more quad focus and legs on your leg day.
Yeah.
And then pull would be pull,
Hamstrings.
but more of a hamstring focus. So you'd have leg curl or RDL. So it still sort of balances out. So you can do it. But generally, if someone says push pull legs, push pull is generally just upper body. But you can't change it and add them in.
So if you guys don't know what push pull legs is, we've done videos on each of these and the muscles that are used in each one. So head back on our page on the group and put in it's probably about 4 weeks ago now, 4 to 6 weeks ago. Just put in like
it was a Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, about 6 weeks ago. Check that date, or put in there push exercise or something like that. It should come up. The reason I don't like push pull legs as a 3-day split is because if they miss one of them, like they gotta wait 2 weeks until they do it again. So if you don't do legs, you haven't done it for 2 weeks, kind of thing.
We know men are skipping legs.
Exactly. That's why men go small legs. So they always do it on Friday, and then they never actually want to do it on the Friday. So they go out and they skip it anyway because they're going out that night. And they don't want to be like.
They don't skip the gym though. They just do another chest day.
Or biceps. Yeah. Get the pump on before they go out on a Friday night. So 1 to 2 days you're doing full body. 3 days you're doing full body or upper, lower, and full body. What's Cam's in here? Fully body. What if what you got there? Fully body.
Yeah, it's not my finished. No, that's just roughing it.
And what if you can do 4 days?
Can you do 4 now?
I can do 4 now.
Can you do 4 now?
My other kid's gone to school. Comes in nursery.
The other kid. So the better one for that is upper, lower. Again, you get ideal rest between them. So say you do upper, then you do lower, and then you'd probably have a rest day, and then you're back to upper. You've had at least 48 hours recovery, and that's a good amount of time to sort of be able to hit your upper body again, and still be able to push closer to failure. Whereas if we're going upper, rest, lower, you're still working similar muscle groups. They're going to be fatigued from the day before, so you can't push as high. So you're not training as close to failure or intensity you would need to get stronger and build muscle.
Yeah. What if I could do 5 days?
Why can you do 5 now?
I took a day off work.
Every week?
Yeah.
For the rest of your life?
I'm just doing 4 days a week.
You're only going to work 4 days for the rest of your life now,
yeah?
Okay. That's good.
Or maybe I could do the weekend. I do Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to do Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's what I'm going to train now.
Interesting. So yeah, there's a couple of ways you could do this. The main way I would say is I would do push, pull legs, rest, upper, lower.
Push, pull legs, upper, lower.
Yeah, that's one way.
Okay, and what about upper, lower, push, pull legs?
Yeah, just flip it around. You could do that.
Just checking.
Yeah, I'll allow that one.
Someone would ask, surely.
Yeah, someone would ask. You can also do.
Can I do 5 full body days?
You can do, yeah.
You'd be fucked though, wouldn't you?
You can do, yeah. But it'd have to be well programmed to be able to
really
give
well
like
programmed.
the muscles like enough volume. You could maybe do like high reps and 5 days.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't do low reps and 5 days and trying to go heavy every day with similar muscle groups.
You could split it like low, high, or something like that. But we'll get onto rep ranges shortly.
So the other option would be upper, lower, full body.
Yeah.
Like there's different ways, different to do it.
I think that's good if you've got like 4 and maybe an optional 5. Like some days you can't always, some weeks you can't do 5 days. So you do like upper, lower to make sure you hit all the body twice. And then you're like, okay, I've got the 5th day as an optional one. I can go and do my full body now. I think that's the way I would
You've got to go back to work sometimes.
I'm just in demand.
And then there's 6 days, but we wouldn't really recommend it. But if you were going to do it.
Do you do 6 days?
No.
Do I do 6 days?
No.
No. Do any of our clients do 6 days?
No. So we won't put it in actually.
So we won't
I'll take it out just in case you do it.
Yeah, we're not going to advise you do silly things.
So that's frame one. How do you split it up into like what exercises should you be doing each day? And that's the main thing. So yeah, what split should you be doing is your first question.
So guys, I want to know, how many days are you doing, or now, based on what we've said, like what would your split be? If you're a client, you can kind of like play a game here and just pick a number and then put your split there. So if you actually do 5 days, but now you're going to say, oh, I'm just doing 2, you could put 2 and then like what split you think you should do. So just to reiterate, a split is the way the body, the way the movements are broken up, or the workouts are broken up each day into different exercises and body parts. Alrighty.
Let's wait for some answers. Let's get some interactive answers.
I'm waiting for people on the replay.
Oh, we're going to be waiting a while. You can't move to framework 2.
Come on, Jenna.
Where you learn what to put in your workout. Like, this is probably the most important one. But if we don't get any feedback, we can't. There's no point moving on.
That's true.
Maybe they're falling asleep.
And we've only got 10 minutes.
We're going to have to go back through part number 1. We've got Susan. We've got Jenna. We've got Rachel Way.
Holly,
she's either knitting and forgotten about us.
she's sewing.
Or she's gone for a walk.
Rosie,
Fast and Furious 12. She's probably busy filming the next film.
Come on. Because people on replay will want to see this.
Yeah, people on the replay are like, come on, guys. Hurry up. Oh, we've got one.
Your problem is, if you're watching the replay, you should be turning up live so you can like kick these people into play. Because I always see the answers on the replays, people coming up. I don't know how to knit, Cam.
It's the same thing in my head, knitting and sewing.
I'm doing 4 days at the moment, upper, lower, upper, lower.
I think I said knitting in there check-in as well. That's quite funny, isn't it? She's probably like...
He does not listen, Holly. I can vouch. He does not listen to details. Okay, so how many exercises is too many? How many should I be doing? How many is enough? Someone else is doing 2 to 3 full body workouts. Possibly, yeah. If you're one of our clients, if you're doing 2 to 3, you're probably doing full body. I think at 4 days, I do them as they are sent, but I also do HIIT the other 2. Well, Susan, I've told you once, and I'll tell you again, stop doing extra workouts. I agree, you've had a public telling off now. I'm moving back to 3, and then I'll be doing 1 upper, 1 lower, and 1 circuit. I don't think that's a client.
I think that's high.
Oh, do you? Did you program that for Campbell?
I think she's got a full body, but maybe with like an upper emphasis and a lower emphasis to alternate it. But it's still got everything.
I thought that was Holly doing 4 days. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is why it's important for you to put your names at the end, guys, so we don't go off on tangents like this. Right. Anyway, back to
framework part 2.
How many how many exercises should I do? How many reps? How many sets? What? Can you help me out, please?
Yes, I can. Thanks for asking. So, generally, if it's like hypertrophy or strength based, we are going to be aiming. Comments are just distracting me. So we're going to be aiming roughly for 4 to 6 exercises in the gym. Generally sufficient enough. Maybe if you're at home, it's a bit more, because we know we're not left into the highest intensity because you haven't got super heavy weights. So we have to build up the intensity through doing a little bit of higher volume. So that is like the main differences between gym and home. But generally in the gym, if we're training properly, 4 to 6 exercises is enough, because you should be training hard enough that by the end of it you're pooped. If you get into 6 and you're like, I could do 5 more, it's not because you're really fit. I mean, it could be, but it also means those first 5 exercises weren't that hard. So are they actually going to increase muscle mass or like push the body to become stronger? Probably not if you're completely okay by the end of it. So that's exercises, roughly 4 to 6. Then we've got 2 to 4 working sets per exercise. So that's not including warm-ups. Warm-ups varies on the exercise, on the person, and in what order that exercise is.
So I need to do 4 to 6 exercises per day?
Yes.
Per workout day?
Yes.
Okay.
2 to 4 working sets, okay?
So I'm going to do bench press, chest, squat, bench press, chest press, squat, lunge, and lat raise, obviously. So I'm going to do That's 5. Okay, I'm going to do 5 exercises. So I'm going to 2 to 4 work sets. So the first one is bench press. I'm going to go and I'm going to do some warm-up sets, light, to get me pumping up. And then I'm going to be like, right, I'm going to go for it now. So that's 1. Then I'm going to go up with the weight or keep the weight the same. I'm going to do 2. Then the same again. We'll do 3 and maybe 4. So we're 2, 3, or 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And again, don't think 4 always equals more and
No.
more benefits more muscle. It doesn't. It just depends like where you are in the journey.
Mm.
And then generally we're trying to work 3 to 6 working sets per muscle group per workout. 3 to 6 working sets per muscle group per workout.
Working set. So now I'm doing bench press and chest press machine. So I could do 2 and 1, 2 sets and 1 set, or I could do 3 sets and 2 sets, or I could do 3 and 3.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good. That again, if you're pushing within 3 reps close to failure, then you're doing enough intentional like muscle damage or muscle breakdown or stimulus, and then you need recovery, and then you'll just repeat the process. If someone does like 10, basically what you're doing is if you're going past like 6 or 7, there's no like dead set line, everyone's slightly different, but if you're doing like 6 and someone does chest for like the whole day, they're doing like 20 sets. So by the time they get to like 6 to 8, they've gotten the benefit of muscle growth and building. When you're doing more, you're just creating more fatigue. So you go to the gym to build muscle, to get stronger. So once you go past a certain point, there's a threshold where the muscle just isn't going to get any stronger. It's had enough stimulus, so now it needs to rebuild and recover. But people that just hammer muscle groups, like, man, I'm going to do chest and do 10 exercises.
Girls, I'm going to do my glutes.
Yeah, you're doing so much on your glutes. It takes you longer to recover. Because you've built up so much muscle fatigue. So there is a limit, but there's no like dead set number. Okay. And that's what you sort of have to learn on.
What about reps? How many am I supposed to be doing?
So it's like anything between 4 to 15. And technically anything under 30 will build muscle if it's done at the right intensity.
Yeah, and I would lower that 4 to 15 years. I'd even say like 3. Yeah. You could do doubles as well, but we're getting a bit more advanced then. But maybe 3, because a lot of mine I do 3 to 5s for the girls, because I want to get them strong, isn't it? I want to get some strong bitches.
Yeah. So even if you do 30 and under, you can still build muscle again if it's at the right intensity. But if you've got 30 in a set and it takes you 27 reps to get to that 3 reps away from failure, like that's a lot of build up of fatigue.
And then you got 6 sets of it.
And you got like 6 sets of that. That's a lot of fatigue that you don't need. So why not just do 6 to 8? And then, like the first half of your set probably isn't building any muscle. It's the last 3 to 4 reps that are building muscle. So if you're going all the way up, you won't be able to do 30. It has to be a certain weight, and it's going to be a lighter weight. But obviously you have to do 30 of this weight to get that feeling of you're going to be close to failure. So those first 20 probably aren't doing anything.
Yeah, bit of waste of time, guys. Okay, and what about RIR?
So similar to what I just said, you should be training close to failure. We always say close to failure. Certain things you don't have to fail on, like big exercises like compounds, deadlifts, back squat. Higher injury risk, is not worth it. No. But you do need to be training hard enough to force the body to adapt. If you don't train hard enough, why would the body adapt? It's like, I'll stay the same. It's easier.
Yeah.
But if you're constantly this weird person that goes into this place, lifts up heavy things and puts them down constantly and consistently, the body's like, oh, my life is so hard, so I'm going to build some more muscle. Now the weights that you're lifting is easy, so now my life is easy again. And then you go back in, you start lifting up heavier things.
It's like, bloody hell, when's it ever going to end?
Yeah, I have to build more muscle and get more stronger. And you're just this weird person that keeps turning up and picking up heavy things.
But you can only do that if you eat enough protein. And recover between sessions.
That's it.
You didn't explain what it stood for, though.
So reps in reserve, or like reps away from failing, you could sort of call it. So if 0 is like absolutely fail, you could not do one more, so you just get up the last one, you could not do another one.
Even with a gun to your head.
Even if someone said, here's a good example I gave someone the other day. I said, if I come up to you and I said, I'll give you £1 million, you should not be able to do 3 reps more than what you've just done. And if people suddenly can, which a lot of people can, it's because they don't train hard enough in the gym. So if someone put a gun to your head or offered you £1 million.
The one I used the other day was, what if I put a gun to your dog's head? You'd fucking get that up, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So think like that. That's how close you should be.
Yeah.
A lot of people will do it, and a good example is the in-person event. This Alicia, we'll name her.
Go on, Alicia.
Name, shame, and then I don't know what did you say next.
Love
at the end of it. We said like do the most you can do for 5, and she did something like that, and we're like, and she was doing 5, we're like, do more, and then Faye come over and she started shouting, do more. So she scared of Faye, and then it started going up, and she did like 18 reps because we were shouting at her.
But she only do like 5.
And she was in an environment with all the girls clapping for her and cheering her on. And how you can't get stronger in like 10 seconds.
No.
It's just that's what your true ability is. So you have to learn how to push yourself.
Yeah.
It's just like we'll use this example for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
The Alicia example.
Thanks, Alicia. Consistent Cardone. Coach Cardone, I called her the other day. So that is reps in reserve. That's how many you've got left in the bank. Okay, so if there's none, you shouldn't be able to get one more up. If there's 3, you should be able to push for 3 more. You should be able to squeeze them out. Obviously 5, then you should be able to squeeze 5 out. 10, you're looking at like you're not really putting much effort in, and sometimes that's okay. If you've got an injury, if your period's coming up, like sometimes we'll adjust the RIR like that. And another way to look at it is the flip side, which is RPE, so rate of perceived exertion. Okay, so how hard do you think this is going to be? So one of our clients has got a heart condition, and so she is not allowed to heart rate doesn't go up to a certain amount. So because she's on medication, so her heart rate doesn't push as hard as we kind of would ask her to. So sometimes we'll say like, do some cardio at 130 beats per minute, but now she can't do that because her chest, heart isn't doing that. So now we're giving her an RPE. So how hard do you think you push in? So a 1 would be like not very hard, a 5 would be like medium, and 10 would be like hanging out my ass, right? So it's the opposite number scale to the RIR. So if we were to put numbers against this, 1 RPE would be 10 RIR. So you've got 10 left in the tank. Is it easy? 5 would be 5, okay? So let's do like 7 RIR would be a 3. No, let's do the other one. 7 RPE would be like, I can get 3 more out. And then a 10 RPE would be a 0 RIR or 1 RIR. So it's like, this is freaking solid. I can't push through this. And then you just have the 1 rep left in the tank, right? Or the none. So that is it, guys. We have got more, but we are running out of time. So next week we're going to talk about part 2 of this checklist.
What you should be hitting per week within your exercises and workouts.
Muscle groups, you mean? Yeah.
And yeah, like muscle groups. How many working sets, and how to do like lagging body parts. And then what you should be focusing on, like that's the structure you've got, and now what should you be focusing on across your workouts.
Perfect. All righty, we'll see you next week.
Ta-ra.
No, I meant you. We'll see you next week.
Oh, okay.
See you guys on Monday. Have a good one. Bye.